Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mark Schultz. I'm here with Digital Aircraft, and we are going live with another LinkedIn Live session focused on recovery in aviation. The question I have for you is that what are you doing to leverage the parts of the industry which are being successful right now? One of those is business aviation, and I'm asking you is that do you know how to leverage the industry to be successful at this time? Hello, Taki. How are you?
Good morning, Mark. I'm fine, thank you. Very well.
Very good. Hey, I'm excited to have you on this live broadcast today. We're going to have a lot of people that'll be watching this at the time of day we are. It's in Europe, and I understand that you've just been traveling. Where are you today?
I'm actually in Athens, Greece, the host city of ECAS, the 8th ECAS, the European Corporate Aviation Summit. I arrived in Athens last night.
Excellent. You arrived in Athens. Hey, I have a quick question for you. How was the travel? Was it difficult to get there?
Not at all. It was completely full flight, not a single seat available, and absolutely no problems. Even when I arrived, there was no problem. Went through customs very fast, and I felt very safe. No problem whatsoever.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know, a lot of people are questioning, how is the travel experience and is it difficult? And I'm glad to see that was easy for you. Hey, listen, down there, Taki, that's his short name, but he is the founder and CEO of Aeropodium. Taki, what is Aeropodium? Tell our viewers what it is that Aeropodium does.
Aeropodium was founded in 2009. And the main business of this company is the production of high-level conferences, aviation conferences, and training seminars all over the world. We have organized 192 aviation events in 33 different countries and online recently, 10 events online recently. But this is the main business, aviation, conferences, and seminars.
Okay, now, we've all been used to attending conferences, in the past, and they've been, in-person conferences, and I guess that's all changed. You were going to have this to be an in-person conference in Athens. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. The plan was to have a physical conference at the American College of Greece here in Athens. You are allowed to have conferences indoors in Greece. It was going to happen, but there are so many travel restrictions all over Europe, and the majority of the speakers found it very difficult to travel. There are different rules in different countries, quarantine, restrictions. It was a bit hectic, so we decided to go virtual.
Yeah, everybody is faced with that, and I myself personally attended a lot of conferences all around the world, and it became something that all of a sudden we didn't have that ability to be able to go to conferences and get the benefits of that. So we'll come back to that in a minute. That's great. But now you've gone virtual with it.
Yes, that's right. I've spoken to so many contacts all over Europe. People are really cannot wait. People cannot wait to go back to conferences, network properly, and meet other business associates. This event, we were all waiting for the 30th of October, but the circumstances were such that we had to make some changes to accommodate everyone. It was impossible to have different guests from certain countries in Europe because they would have to quarantine as soon as they return home.
Right. Okay. So this particular event, tell us a little bit about it. It's the 8th annual ECAS European Corporate Aviation Summit. Can you tell us what it is? What is it all about?
Yeah, this is the 8th time I'm organizing the European Corporate Aviation Summit. The first one took place in Sweden, and it has also taken place in UK and Malta. This year was supposed to be in Greece, where I am right now. It will last, it will take about 3.5 hours. Mr. Harris, the Minister for Tourism of Greece, will end the conference address, and then we will have 3 panel discussions with the expert speakers, plus 2 individual presentations. It's all about corporate aviation in Europe, with detailed presentations and a lot of discussion.
So what's the current state of the industry with respect to corporate aviation and business aviation? How are things going in Europe right now?
In Europe, corporate aviation is doing very well because, I mean, they took advantage, I think, of the restrictions and the problems the airlines had. And a lot of business travelers preferred to start traveling with business aviation, even some of them even for the first time, the very first time. So business aviation is doing very well, apparently, in Europe. And hopefully this trend will continue.
Yeah. Now you, I experienced the same thing. Let me tell you real quick, Taki, is that at the end of August, I organized a very significant event, and we focused on recovery in aviation. We've actually been focusing on recovery in aviation all year long with this series to try to help people in the industry to learn from others around them and to find ways to be successful in creating growth in aviation during this difficult time. And I had a 3-day event where we had about 61 speakers, and we had about 20,000 people that attended it. And it was a very interesting theme that came through that, is that business and corporate aviation was actually doing very strong right now, all right? As a matter of fact, some of the companies that were in that industry specifically, and the software providers in that industry, were having some of their best revenues ever this year at this point. And so this seems like this is a really good topic to be talking about right now, because if people want to be able to focus on leveraging the growth in aviation right now, it sure seems like corporate and business aviation is a place to do that.
Yes, I agree with you. Business aviation seems to be doing very well compared to the airlines all over Europe, and getting from all the business contacts across the continent. Yeah, it's doing very well, and that's a fact. And it looks like it's going to continue developing further. The business aircraft companies are very busy. So I think you're absolutely right. And I think I believe all the business aviation professionals are expecting a very good 2021 as well.
Yeah. Now, in this event, you've organized the event. I think you told me in advance that there was 3 main sections of the event, and you have some really knowledgeable individuals who are going to be there for these different 3 events or 3 sections of the event. Can you tell us what the 3 primary focuses are of this event?
Yeah. Yes, of course. After the opening address of the Minister for Tourism, the Greek minister, we will have a panel on European corporate aviation 2020, growth and challenges for the future. And this panel will cover subjects like taxation and VAT, business aviation and tourism, airport infrastructure, environmental challenges for business aviation, and a forecast for the future. I would like the speakers to give us their vision for the future of the industry. And this panel includes 5 expert speakers.
Yeah, that really sounds interesting.
The second panel is about getting business aircraft in Europe. Yeah.
No, it sounds really interesting, because if you're focusing on growth in that sector of aviation, we've seen a tremendous amount of growth in that sector. And I would find that very insightful to be able to understand, key leaders in that industry and what they're focusing on in order to be able to promote growth, even further. I know a lot of companies are suffering difficulty during this time from an economic standpoint. And so I would think that would be a tremendous opportunity to better understand where the growth is going in business and corporate aviation, so that they can move some of their attention over to that sector that's doing well. Wouldn't you think?
Yes, I agree. And not only that, I also think it would be nice to be optimistic about the future. I would like everyone to feel optimistic and have a message of optimism out of this conference. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I understand. Yeah, I agree, because I think that's a very positive future. I mean, aviation has been a very important part of my entire life, and and I want to see it to be successful. That's why we've focused on success in aviation. Yeah. And so what's the next primary section of the event? What's the second one?
The second panel discussion will be about trading business aircraft in Europe. This is mainly about aircraft financing and leasing. It will include legal aspects as well. And again, there are 5 expert speakers participating in this panel. They will give short presentations followed by discussion.
Okay, and so what would be the main purpose of that section? What would be the main people that would be interested in watching that part of the event?
Aircraft operators, financing companies, leasing companies, and any professional really, even consultants who have an interest in financing and leasing aspects of business aircraft.
Yeah, I would think that would now become a very important part, really, of the industry, because what's really happening right now is that the amount of aircraft that are flying right now in that space is actually growing pretty dramatically, and so I would imagine there would be a tremendous opportunity for people involved in aircraft acquisition and people involved in financing, and if people were leasing aircraft at this time. It would seem like that would be a big concern of people's right now to better understand what's happening in that market.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I agree completely.
Yeah. So what is the?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the third segment of the event?
The third panel is about aircraft management, maintenance, and operations in Europe, and this includes aviation safety, aircraft maintenance, and the management of aircraft. But before this panel, we will have 2 individual presentations. Presentation, legal aspects of buying and selling business aircraft, and another separate presentation on aircraft completions.
Okay,
and
well,
we will
very
finish
interesting.
the panel on aircraft management, maintenance, and operation.
Yeah, it looks like you have a good lineup of people that are very knowledgeable. Hey, you said the last segment's going to have a discussion about aircraft completions. I know you have a lot of really knowledgeable people on there, but it just turns out that I know one of the companies. I've done some business with them, Camber Aviation there, and Tom Chatfield I saw was one of your speakers coming up on the event. And we've had some business where we have looked at aircraft completions, and I know that company acts as a facilitator, project management, design company, helping owners who are doing completions of aircraft, basically taking aircraft and redoing interiors and making them like business jets. And I've really been quite impressed with the quality of that organization and their knowledge and their skill. I've seen them, save companies millions of dollars, through the coordinations of their activities and come up with a much better product. That seems like you have a really high quality group of speakers that are attending this event, Taki.
Yes, I mean, Tom is an expert, no doubt about it, and he has tremendous knowledge and experience. And I have no doubt he will contribute with his knowledge and experience to the event. But all the speakers really are experts in their fields, and I am honored to have them involved in this project.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, you have some really important companies there, and I think that if somebody really wants to understand the business and corporate aviation market, definitely you have a lineup of knowledge there, which helps people to understand, that industry very quickly. Hey, I want to talk about that just for a minute as this next segment of our discussion. We've all found ourselves that we attend events and we try to go to do learning and knowledge and networking. And also, I enjoy traveling and going to events as well. And all of a sudden we found ourselves not being able to attend events like that anymore. And they were really a very important part of, us doing business within the industry. What do you think people, are going to get out of attending a virtual event instead of an in-person event? I mean, what's the value of doing that?
There's no doubt that the virtual event is different, and everybody enjoys going to physical conferences, networking in person, having a coffee, talking to other people, and doing business. A virtual event it's more about learning, in my opinion. It's more about education, because of course you can attend it from the comfort of your office or home, but you don't have the same thing that you have when you are in a physical conference. You cannot meet people in person. I accept that, but you can learn a lot. It's more about education and getting information, and yeah, it's about learning really. And that's the feedback I'm getting from the previous virtual events I have organized. That's the feedback I'm getting from previous delegates. They're getting a lot of information, and that's the reason for attending them.
Yeah, I personally attend events for many reasons, and one of them is that in a very short period of time, I can gain a lot of knowledge from the people that are really experts in that area. And Taki, is I personally believe that we need to work together, in the industry and share knowledge and help each other to be successful, during these difficult times. And the question you have to ask yourself is that, well, why should people try to do all of this on their own, and they shouldn't. We should leverage the knowledge of people around us, and we should try to help each other to be able to move forward, more successfully, especially in difficult times like this.
You are absolutely right. It's very important to share experiences and information and knowledge. This is very important. The aviation industry family, the aviation family is fantastic, and we know each other in this industry. And I think it's extremely important. You're absolutely right. It's extremely important to share information and knowledge to improve ourselves and the sector in general.
Yeah. Yep.
The industry.
Absolutely. And let me just add to that is I also wanted to share with people is that people, we crave connection with people, right? And about a year ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was trying to promote video and connection on social media. And I found that when I would have video conferences, people would get on a conference and they wouldn't turn on their video, and it was really just audio. And we need to create connection, with one another. And it really is important that we do things like this. Like, look, I'm in Seattle, Washington right now, and you're in Athens, Greece, and we're holding a conversation about an event that's coming up that people around the world will be able to attend. I mean, I think that's pretty amazing that we're able to do that in today's day and age.
Oh yeah, I mean, the delegates on Friday for this European Corporate Aviation Summit will be from all over the world. From the USA, I have several people from the US. From all over Europe, even from Nepal, I have delegates. From Asia, from all over the world, really. So this is a way of connecting, definitely.
Yeah, and like, for example, I can see who's on this broadcast, and we actually have people all around the world that are actually watching this broadcast right now. And so it's really pretty amazing how we can connect, how we can connect like that around the world. And excuse me. And what I wanted to say also is that I find these to be tremendously valuable events for networking. Now, even when I spoke with you, Taki, you said, well, what do you mean for networking? I mean, it's virtual. It's a one-way thing. You can't connect. But I wanted to share with people is that, I use events like this to be able to create new connections and network with people. And so I learn about people's businesses, so like, when you're having this event, I mean, you have all these different companies that come in and they share knowledge about leasing and finance and about, completions and all the different aspects of, really of the industry. And then I use that as an opportunity to be able to reach out to people and create connections and start conversations. And so, if you're in this industry and if you're looking for a way to be able to engage more in the business and corporate aviation community, you should attend this event because you will learn, number one, okay, number two, you will meet some new people and you have the opportunity to be able to take the initiative to engage with them, either to do business with them or to learn from them, or maybe even to find new business opportunities through them. That's happened to me as well. So, Taki, I find this as a great opportunity for us to be able to create connections with other people in the industry.
Absolutely. It's a different way of networking because you get together people from anywhere in the world where you can imagine. That's the beauty of it. You're right, yes.
Yeah, I can't go shake somebody's hand, but virtually I can use it as an opportunity to be able to reach out to people. So I think this is a very important thing that you're doing. And hey, let me go back and talk a little bit about, as we kind of get near the end of this discussion, I want to go back and talk about Aeropodium as a whole. Now, you said you've done how many different conferences since you started? I think we might have lost your internet connection for a minute there. Are you able to hear me okay, Techie?
Sorry, Mark, I didn't hear the question. The connection was lost for a while.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I can hear you now.
I wanted to go back and talk about Aeropodium for a minute. Is that you said you've done 190 events over time?
Yeah, 192, including the recent virtual events this year.
Yeah, that's oops. Looks like we've lost our connection. All right, okay. Well, looks like we've lost our connection with Taki, and unfortunately, one of the challenges of technology is sometimes those kind of things happen. So I wanted to just say that the reality is that these are really valuable events, and we find ourselves. There, we got him back. We got you back. Are you back with us?
Sorry about that. Yes, I'm back.
Okay, all right. I was just telling people that these are really valuable events, and unfortunately, we have a little bit of internet connection problems, and that's one of the challenges that we have around the world. Is we're trying to figure out how to improve the things that we do. But let me just go back to that. Is that you've done events all around the world, and so tell us again what the goal of your organization is and what you're trying to do with hosting 190 events in the industry. What is it you're trying to accomplish?
Yes. One reason is to bring people together. Networking is a major factor in the production of my conferences. I think I organize something like around 20 events per year. If you divide it by the years, it's like something like that. So networking is a major factor. Second, education. How to find information. People always leave the conference room with information and new contacts. Very often, they don't always tell me, but very often delegates tell me that they got a business deal during one of the conferences. That's why people love to meet at events. They meet and talk business, and very often they get deals, contracts, etc. So networking, education, and learning how to find information are the main reasons for organizing these events. And I have done a lot. I know that in 33 different countries all over the world, in every continent. But this is what I love about them, bringing people together and meeting people from all over the world.
Right. I agree with that. Amazing. Yeah, I agree with that. Meeting people from all around the world is really important to me. Hey, listen, I want to ask you a couple of follow-up questions, which I know, weren't planned here, but I just wanted to ask you, is that, being involved in the aviation industry, let me just ask you, what are you the most grateful about, in your ability to be involved in aviation today?
That's a very good question. I love being involved in aviation because every time I finish a project, I feel that I get something back in return. People are happy to be there. They leave happy with a big smile and a big thank you. And that's what makes me happy, really. And also, don't forget, I learn myself every time. I mean, I've been learning more and more about aviation throughout the years. So I educate myself as well. I'm not a pilot. I never claim to be the biggest expert in the world, but I learn a lot. And this is another part of the business that, to educate myself personally as well.
No, I can appreciate that completely. I'm very, very grateful of knowing so many people in the industry. Very grateful. Let me ask you one more follow-up question. Is that if you look forward into aviation, in the future here, what are you the most excited about?
I believe that aviation will develop really a lot in the future. I would give it another couple of years because of what happened with the pandemic. But I think that more and more people will get involved in aviation. As far as business aviation is concerned, more and more business aircraft operators will have more services, more operations, more and more professionals will get involved with the industry, and the reputation of the industry will improve. And don't forget, technology improves. That's a big part of it. Better engines, protection of the environment. So aviation will be an extremely important industry in the future.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to see a lot of changes. I'm really excited about, UAVs and also in drones and electric aircraft, but business and corporate aviation has always been, a real interest of mine. And I'm excited about, the increase in business aviation and corporate travel, because I think that that's really an important part, of the aviation industry is business and aviation and corporate travel. So listen, I really appreciate Aeropodium, and let me just tell you why is that I understand what you're doing. You're trying to help people to be successful in the industry, and the way you're doing that is you're organizing knowledge and people to come together into events to be able to share those with other people in the industry.
Right.
And it's with that knowledge that we are able to accelerate things faster and to be more successful. And so, Taki, you are doing a very important thing at Aeropodium. And I just wanted to personally thank you for doing that, because I think it's extremely valuable in its contribution to the aviation industry.
Mark, thank you very much for the invitation. It was great to talk to you. I'm trying to do my part as well, my contribution, small contribution to the industry.
Yeah.
And I will continue. I want to continue bringing together people, and hopefully we will meet in person in 2021. Very soon.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, if people want to attend that event, it's on Friday, which is just 2 days away from now. So how can they reach out and get involved in the event?
The best way to do it is to visit the event website and register online, or call Aeropodium to register. The agenda is on the website, all the information, everywhere, the times. And if there's any question, please, they can contact Aeropodium anytime.
Excellent. So here we have the website URL shown on the screen. And so if you want to learn about corporate and business aviation, join this conference. It's on Friday. And what time does it start? In what time zone, Taki?
9 o'clock Greek time. And that's 8 o'clock Central European time in the morning.
Excellent. And they can register on this website. Perfect. Very good. All right. Well, listen, I'm really glad to hear that you're doing this. And I appreciate you taking time, out of your schedule. I know that when you're organizing an event, you're very, very busy. And you just gave me, almost an hour of your time here this morning. And I appreciate it. So I wanted to wish you the best in your event. And I know that it's going to be successful for you. You have, you have over 10 years of success in this area right now, right?
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
11 years Aeropodium, 20 years in the aviation industry.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. I want to thank all of you that were watching today for watching our broadcast today. And I highly encourage you to join this event on Friday. Taki, thank you for joining me today. And I wish you the best on your event.
Thank you, Mark, very much for the invitation. Appreciate it.
Okay. Yep. All right. Bye now. So I'm going to sign off now to all of you, and I'll finish as I always do. Fair winds and following seas to you. And I wish you the very, very best in your success in aviation. We're excited about it, and I hope you are as well. Bye.